In the previous video, we added more task classes. The last task class we added was for bad request exception. Basically, we triggered an exception here. Now I want to continue to trigger the next exception. Basically, I want to trigger an exception when a task is not found. The task not found exception, which we have here. I want to trigger this exception right now. That's why I would suggest to add here a global field, private val ID, task ID. This should be of type long, and give it just a random number 543, and that's it. So create a new test class here from okay, curly braces. So then get task by ID is called, then accept task not found exception here. So now I think you can imagine that we need again a mock, like in every block where we mock something. So let's say every. By the way, I'm not adding now this given when then. This was just for demonstration purposes. So let's say every mock repository exists by ID, because this will this is something our service class will call when we call the find task by ID. Again, give it an any parameter, say returns false. Just a second. Okay, returns false. Nice. Now I'll call the exception. Exception. As you can see, I'm storing again the exception here. Assert throws of type task not found exception. Task not found exception. And so and I have here, this should be returns, not return. It's just a MockK type of thing to say returns, not return. And object on a desk. Get task by ID. Now we give it a task ID, we specify it as a global variable. And just for readability purposes, this should be a task not found exception. So nice. So here you see it's a little bit more, I would say, more obvious what it is. Yeah, basically you can, I just leave now these two ways, just in that way and in this way. So now we can get, I think we can get rid of this. Nice. Now we can assert again. Assert that the exception message is something we need again. Exception dot message okay is equal to okay. Now we need something here, and this get task by ID. I need to check for ID. Basically here we have our task not found exception. We need this message here, copy it, paste it in, nice. Just put here the task ID. Okay, nice. Now we'll just write out all the other methods, or let's see how far I can get before the video gets too long. Next thing I want to do is just to fetch all open tasks and also mock it and see if we get the right value for it. And yeah, let's write the next test method. Let's say when all open tasks are fetched, check the property of first item. Okay, nice. Okay. Now what we can do is we have our task. Basically what we can do, I would say, yeah, let's take our task. This time I would just assign some random values, like my Williams value, feed a cat, because I'm a cat person. Okay. So next thing is task open. Let's say I would check the properties, all properties of the first item. Okay, task open. Let's say false. Hopefully, we already fed the cat. Nice. And okay, task.priority is missing. Let's say hi. Okay, now I want to just create a list of tasks. Say, because this is our given block, this is where I don't want to add your line break. Expected tasks is list of tasks. This list of just has one task inside of it. Now we come to the when, every. Mock repository. When query all open task is called, it returns expected tasks. But this needs to be a mutable list, otherwise we get an error. Mutable list. Okay, nice. And now let's get the actual list. Actual list. This list task detail. And now we call object on the test. Say get all open tasks. Okay, now we have our when block, and now we have our then block. It's just basically assert that we just take our actual list, take the first item, because we only have, there should be just one item inside of it, and call the description is equal to task dot description. And basically what we cannot do it that way, or we just take the whole list and say nice. Okay, I just duplicate those lines and say here instead this task open. This task open. Now we say priority. Okay. Okay, now we have this task, and I'm thinking basically just the thing is I made here a mistake is because we just I just wanted to test all open tasks, and so I would say just remove this, remove all the other stuff here, just test for is it open or not. And yeah, so what we can also do is we can just duplicate this and just modify it. Check if property, check property is task open is true. Just copy this line, just and say is false. Now we need to replace this with query close tasks. This should also call query all close tasks, and this of course is true. Okay, basically I just have written two test methods, one for the query all open task and one for all closed tasks, and that's basically it. Okay, the next method I want to just show you how with a test how you can save the argument that is given. So the next method will be test and say when save task is called, then check if argument could be captured. Okay, and to capture argument, we need something from MockK again, which is a slot. This is how we can capture an argument. I call it task slot because we capture a task slot of type task. Import slot, yes. Okay, okay. And for now, I need to give the task again some values, but this time we just use those things here. Copy paste. Okay. Now we can move on again to the when block. Write again every. mock repository dot save. But this time we will not give it any value. This time we will say capture the task slot. And this returns, every time it's called, this returns task. Okay, now we'll do, what we are going to do is get the actual task. Show task DTO of type task DTO. This is again a misspelling here. Okay. Object on the test. We want to create a task, so we can save it. Create task. Of course, we say create request. Now comes the funny part. We have to verify first. You remember verify? We had it here in this test. We also verified that the save was never called. This time we verified that it is actually called. We can do this by saying mock repository dot save. Again, capture. Capture task slot. Okay, that's nice. And the rest what we can do is again just assert the values. Assert that we take our task slot again. Say, for instance, description. I'm sorry, we need task captured. It has the property captured, as you can see here, and now we can access the description and say it's equal to, and we of course we want to verify it with our actual task here. Say description. Next we can duplicate the line and see what other values we also have here. Basically what you see here, we have all kinds of values. Yeah, we can just take this reminder set. Say this reminder set. Then we can look for, we don't have set it here. Just let me this reminder set. This reminder set. Now we can also to test it against is task open. Lastly, against the priority. Okay, and that should be it. I will now run the tests. I hope everything works. Otherwise, I will for sure inform you in the next tutorial if we have to adjust something. And yeah, in the next tutorial, we will also continue to write at least 4 more tests in this task service class, and yeah, see you soon. إلى اللقاء يا شباب.